There we go. Okay. So we'll sit up nice and tall. Feel firm with the legs, the touch of the feet on the ground, the connection of the shins, buttock bones into the blankets or the floor. Just take your arms out so you can discern arm and body and really lift up with the rib cage, include the back ribs. Feel the shape of your chest. Join your hands in prayer. Close the eyes and repeat. So touching the feet on the floor, buttock bones to blankets. Feeling the shape of the chest, lifting back ribs. Soften the face, soften the eyes, and see if you can drop into the chest and feel the breath. We'll say one Om aloud when you're ready. Take an inhale. Bring your head down. And in the head down position, really lift your chest, lift your rib cage, and take the top shoulder back. So the back of the neck stretches, and the eyes closed and soft. The gaze is inward towards the heart, towards the chest. And then bring your hands down. Continue to breathe with the head in the lowered position, feeling the breath in the chest. And then raise your head up and open up your eyes. Go ahead and stretch your legs out. Really stretch the backs of your legs from your buttock bones to your heels and spread across the soles of your feet. Okay, so then child's pose, if that's available to you. If you can't do child's pose, you'll lay on your back and hug your knees in instead. But if you can, come on your shins, take your knees apart, and extend the arms forward if you can. So child's pose, if that's available to you, with the arms stretching. Good. And so when my knees are bothering me, I can't do the next one. But if the knees feel okay, see if you can go up and over the right leg. So you're still in the bend of your child's pose, but you're just going to lift your ribs up and over the right leg. Then your arms, you can do whatever. If that's bothering your knees, though, then come out of it and lay on your back instead. And then go in the middle and over the other side. That's it. So you kind of use your arms to help you get over there and then relax. And then once you're over the leg, relax your arms. Yeah. And then in the middle, and now downward facing dog if you can. So if you can press back and come on up, do. If you can't do dog pose, you could be in half Uttanasana instead. So downward facing dog if that's available to you. Otherwise, just walk feet forward under hips. Good, and then let's all walk to half Uttanasana. So just bring your feet forward a little bit. Let your knees bend and have the weight in your legs, not in your hands. So you could even lift your hands off of the ground for a moment. Bend your knees. And maybe just put your forearms on your thighs for a sec. Bend your knees. Just let your knees bend. Good, and then think of spine forward. Think of spine forward, and you feel how you lift a tiny bit the weight off of your forearms. Pull your abs up. And then just just stretch the fingers towards the floor, but don't touch them even. Now pull your spine forward again. Pull your spine forward. Pull your spine forward. There you go. Now lower your fingers. Keep pulling your spine forward, and then maybe straighten your legs, but maybe not, because you still want to keep spine forward. Energy of the abs is up. Spine long. That looks great. That's it. And then if you can, back to downward facing dog. If you can't stay in half Uttanasana for that whole time, then of course you could come into child's pose if you need a break. But if you can be in downward dog, be in down dog. Feel your breath. Take your thighs back. Let's bend the knees a little bit and go way up with the hips. Energy of the abs is up a little bit. And then straightening the legs. Make sure you're breathing. Good. And then come on down into a comfortable seated position. If you can sit and cross legs, do, but if you need to have a leg out, that's fine. Okay. Reach the right hand out and stretch the left arm over. Just try to really open and feel curved through these ribs. So the arm that's on the bottom side, that right one, I bend it, I push it against the floor, and I try to suck my right waist up towards the spine. And then let's do that on the other side. So when you're ready, and the lower arm bends and pushes, if you can, and you want to think of curving and opening through the upper ribs, lower ribs kind of sucking in. Make sure you're breathing. Good, and then rising. Just change if the legs are crossed, just change it. And we'll do that again. Make sure you're breathing. I kind of like pulse a little bit when I'm doing it. I try to access in through the middle ribs more if I can. Yeah. And then when you're ready, do your other side, just like that. Breathing. And then coming up. Okay, good job. Straightening out the two legs. And together with the shins, lean a tiny bit forward and press your legs down. And then reach your arms up if you can. Inhale, deep inhale. And then exhale, arms out. Good. Okay, so it's difficult to do this seated flat, but let's try it as flat as we can tolerate. So if you need to sit up for your lower back, then of course you'll sit up. But if you want to try it flat, do. Just, sometimes it's good to try things, even though it's really challenging. Bring your left leg bent with the foot, where you can just comfortably bring it in. Hold it and sit up tall. And then we're going to bring the right hand to the right and twist right, sitting tall. Yeah. So you can feel the tension, the effort if you're seated flat. This is definitely difficult. Pull your belly back and turn it right. Breathe. Good. And then release. Now, if this leg is injured, you know, you might need to be careful with this, but see if you can just take the foot, inner foot to the thigh and take the knee down like that. There you go. And then we're going to twist the same way. Yeah, that's right. Breathing. And leaving the legs, turn center, and now twisting opposite direction. Just think legs down, breath moving. Nicely done. Leaving legs, come center, reach arms up. Reach arms out and down and come slightly forward. Good. Crossing now over to a more classic Janu Sirsasana position. That's right, legs down, breath moving. And then rising back up. Now let's just bring the leg that's bent back up into the first position. Hug in, get in tight, get in close. Revolve right. Stay close to the bent leg though. Squeezing left arm in, yeah, like that. See if you can pull your belly back and right. Working your ribs around a little bit more, your belly around a little bit more. Good. If you could easily bring that arm, that front arm, more onto the inside of the shin. Now, do you have to squeeze the leg to the arm? Very good. All right, so that looks great. Let's undo and we'll do that on the other side. So of course, if you're starting to fatigue in the back, you want to just sit up on a blanket. But if you want to keep trying it low, you just stay low. Good. All right. So first we're going to bend up that right leg and sit up and turn gently left. Breathing. So usually when I'm twisting in my practice, I start kind of with a moderate movement. And after, so go ahead and turn towards the straight leg side. And then, you know, after I've had a few moments and I'll twist more deeply, but in the beginning I just kind of go in that real easy range. Good. And then back in the center now, let's see if we can just put the foot to the inner thigh. And if, you know, if this doesn't work for some reason, you could always just discard the bend if you need to, or you could even stay up like this, but legs down and gently turning towards the same direction we did first. Yeah, just legs down, breath moving. And then keeping legs go center and now turning the opposite way. Still think break legs down, breath moving. Yeah, looks really good. And then back to the center, reaching arms up, inhaling. Reaching arms out, exhaling, and come forward a little bit. And then if you can, now a more classic turn for the Janu Sirsasana. Yeah. Legs are continuing to go down, breath moving. And then when you come on back in center, let's see if we can just bring that right leg back up. Hug in, try to get a little tighter in this time. So you're gonna pull and get close to your legs, still breathe. And then we're gonna bring left hand behind and revolve. So now this is where I would start to turn with more effort because I've warmed up a little bit. So I'm in a challenge, I'm in a C. How much can I pull my belly back and turn? And then once I've done that, does it make sense to bring the arm a little bit more on the inside? If you do that though, your bent knee has to really press into the rib cage, into the arm. And now undo it and we'll straighten out both and taking shins together and down, sit up tall, and a gentle turn to the right, crossing the left hand over, both legs go down, breath moving. And center and second side. Good. Okay, so downward facing dog again. And if you can't do that, go into half Uttanasana. And take your thighs back, hips up, abs firm. Just the energy of the abdomen is up a little bit internally instead of towards the ground. Now, if you need to rest, you could always come into child's pose, but if this is feeling within your range right now, put the 2 feet together and then lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. The leg that's up, lift that thigh up and then lower, and when you're ready, second side. The leg that's up though, lift from the thigh and lower. And then come on down to your shins, and if you can, sit onto your heels. And then let's try that one again. So Maggie, you just keep your feet on the ground, but the rest of us can go into dog pose, and then when you're ready, lift the right leg, or lift one leg, but lift from the thigh, and then release and do your other side. Make sure you're breathing. And then come on down. Now just lay all the way onto the back. Just roll over onto the back and take your right leg up, stretch it, and straighten the other leg on the floor. So we'll do Supta Padangusthasana with the right leg up. If you can, you have 2 legs straight. If you need it to be easier, it's the leg on the floor that you bend. And change second side. Breathing, energy of the belly is slightly down. And back to first side. Now try to straighten the left leg on the ground. So if we can, let's go to 2 legs straight if possible. And then we're gonna use our arms and we're gonna lift the head and chest off of the floor and pull towards the leg that's up. And Maggie, you just stay. But on an exhalation breath, lift your shoulders and with your arms, pull towards your leg. And then let yourself go back down. And let's try it again. Exhale, pull, lift, continue to breathe, and then lay yourself back down. Now place your hands on your leg where you get the most leverage to lift and pull. And then exhale, curl up, pull, breathe, and then lay yourself down. All right, that was great. Try it on the other leg. So sometimes on the first one, I just put my hands behind my thigh just to start. And then when you're ready, exhale, pull and curl in, and then lay down. And then I see, oh, well, maybe if I put my hands on my calf, I can pull more. Exhale, pull, just see where you can go. And then lay down. And we got one more at your timing when you're ready. Try to breathe. And then let it down. And then hug your knees in. Soften the belly. Good. And then lower, keep your legs bent and lower your feet down on the floor, hips distance. Tuck your arms under you and lift your hips up. So a mild Setsu Bandha. Try to get your arms under you a little bit more. Feel your hamstrings up. Hamstrings up. And then undo it and extend the two legs out on the ground and stretch arms overhead if that's available to you. Legs stretching away from waist, arms stretching away from waist, and breathe. Now, if there's some reason you cannot leave your arms overhead, then you'll bring them back down at your sides. Otherwise, keep them stretching. Bring your legs together. Bend your legs and scoop your knees into your chest. Pull the belly down and straighten two legs towards ceiling. Keep breathing. And now bend them back in. Don't put your feet on the floor, but just bend your legs. And then straight back up is now 90 degrees. And bend them. Make sure you're breathing. And now straighten them out 60 degrees from the floor. And then bend them. So we're not going to hold them out there. And then we're going to go 30 degrees from the floor. And then bend them right back in. And now back at 90. Try to pull your belly down. And now bend them. And 60. And bend. Breathe. And 30. And bend. Keep breathing. 90. Bend. Keep breathing. 60. Bend. And 30. And bend. Now just hug them with your arms so that your legs stay there, but your belly relaxes a little bit. And breathe, feeling the breath. Good. All right. So catch the back of the right leg again and straighten the left one on the floor. So we're going to do that Supta Padangusthasana lifting again. If it's available to you, you're going to hold the toe and try to bring your forehead to your shin. If that's not available, you're going to do it the way we did before, holding the back of the leg. So either holding toe or leg. On an exhalation breath, lift and curl and pull and then lower your head back down. And we're going to do it 3 times. So on your timing, when you're ready, lift and pull and try to touch forehead to shin and then lower. Make sure you're breathing throughout. And finally, the third one. And then lowering, and we'll try the second side. So just do it on your own pace, your own timing. When you're ready, you'll do 3, holding either the toe and trying to touch the shin or holding the back of the leg. So your breath, your rhythm, you lift and make sure you try to breathe throughout. And don't hold it for too long because we're going to do 3. And then when you're done, bend the 2 legs in and put your hands by your hips and then straighten 2 legs towards ceiling. Pull the belly down. Pull the belly down, feel long through your spine, crown of head to tailbone, 2 legs up if you can. And bending 2 knees. If you try straightening your arms over your head, and straightening your 2 legs up and feeling what this is like in the abdominal, your ability in your abdominals to do this. And then bending your legs, bring your hands back down by your hips and try the 2 legs up again and feel what the abdominals, their ability to do this. Is this harder? Is this easier with your arms in this position? And then try arms overhead. Is this harder or is this easier? And then bend them and now bring them to the floor and just rest, just relax. So if you like to put your knees together and your feet apart, that's fine. Just rest your back, your belly, your arms, your legs. So it kind of varies, arms overhead or arms at the sides, whichever feels the easiest for you. We're going to do a little bit more abs work, but you could decide which position you want your arms. And then when you're ready, Lengthen your spine nice and long. Pull your abs down and bring your 2 legs back up. Breathe. Think of the abs down. And then your right leg, lower it straight away from your face and down, and then raise it back up. Make sure you're breathing. And then the left leg straight away and down, and then raise it back up. And then we'll try it again, right, but really straighten your legs and then lift it. That's better. One more, left. And then lift it. And now just bend your knees, but don't put your feet on the floor. And then only your right leg up towards the ceiling. And then lower that right leg straight away. And then bend it back in. This is kind of like a bicycle feeling, taking just your right leg up. And then keep it really straight and lower it away. And then bend it back in. And one more time, straight up with the right leg only. And lower it away from your face towards the floor, and then bend it back in. Yeah, and then now we've got 2 knees bent. Pull the bellies down, pull the belly muscles down. And when you're ready, left leg only to the ceiling. And then left leg, like that bicycle feeling, away and down, and then bend it in. And then back up to the ceiling with the left only, and away and down. Try to pull your belly down, and then bend it, that leg in. We got one more, left leg up. That's it. Belly muscles go down, you breathe, and you lower that left leg and pull it in. All right, put your feet on the floor. Just rest. If you like, knees together, feet apart, if that feels good for your back, just rest. And then we'll open up the hips just a little bit. Bring your right ankle across left knee. And if you like, you can pull the legs in. If you want it to be a little bit easier, you just leave that foot on the floor. Make sure your neck and shoulders are not gripped up. And second side, crossing left ankle over right knee, either staying here or pulling legs in. Breathe, relax your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. And then 2 feet to the ground and 2 legs to the ground, straightening the legs out, pressing them towards the floor. Good. Take your arms out at shoulder height, like airplane wings, and place the palms facing down. Roll the tops of your shoulders towards the floor. And then bend your 2 knees in to the chest. Roll tops of shoulders to floor, squeeze the legs together, and take both legs over to the right, not all the way to the floor, just maybe 45 degrees over. Press the arms down and turn the belly to the left. Breathing. And then bring the 2 knees in the middle. Take the tops of your shoulders to the floor, kind of even out your back. And then squeeze the legs together as you take both legs bent over to the left, just about 45 degrees, and turn your belly to the right. Try to pull your belly down and right, and make sure you're breathing. And then over into the center, correct the back, roll the tops of your shoulders to the floor, and we're gonna go to the right again when you're ready. 2 legs together, firmly press the legs together. See if this time, when you're over to the right, if you could pull your knees a little bit higher towards the armpit. Continue to breathe. And then to the center and even out a little bit. Tops of your shoulders down, pressing arms down, legs together, take them left. And see when you're over there, if you can bring the knees up a little higher, turn your belly to the right, make sure you're breathing. Try to suck your waist down and right. And then to the center and put 2 feet on floor. Let's lay onto the belly. So you might need to add a little padding underneath your belly for some of you if it's a hard surface under you. Stretch your legs out. Get length in your belly and your back. Arms are optional. I stay up on my forearms mostly just kind of so I can see you guys. But you could lay your head down. Just do what feels best for your neck and shoulders. And when you're ready, reach back and take one foot. So you're going to use the same hand to foot and then lower your tailbone down. Let the quadricep flow towards the knee. And then when you're ready, undo it and take the other side. Tailbone down. Quadricep fibers long, flowing towards the knee. Now, if it's pretty easy to take both, then just bend the first one and grab it. And if you really just are better off doing one at a time, then go back to your first side only. But if you can do both, do both. If you've got both, pull your tailbone down, lift your chest up. That's it. Now, do you feel your middle back? Keep breathing. If you're only doing one, switch over to your second side. If you've got both, go ahead and release them and put your head down. And if you've got the second side, if you're doing just one at a time, just undo it. So we can all lay down for a moment with the legs released. All right, so I want to see if I can get you to fire muscles in your middle back. So go ahead and bring your hands on the floor next to your chest. Press your legs down and just curl your shoulders back and lift your chest just a little tiny bit off of the floor. So this exercise is just about waking up the muscles in your thoracic upper middle back. Okay, so try to push your legs down and then try lifting your hands off of the floor. You're trying to contract the muscles in your upper back. And then let yourself come all the way down. And just relax. Relax your arms, relax your legs. And then we're gonna do the bent legs again. So those that can catch both feet, bend both and catch. And if you can only catch one, then you just do the one. So if you can do both, catch both. And then those that have both, try to lift your chest a little bit, just like we did in the last one. And you just want to feel like you're trying to engage that upper middle back. Make sure you're breathing. Now, if you've got your chest lifted like that and you're holding two of your feet, push your thighs down. Push the thighs to the floor. If you're doing one leg at a time, you got to switch over to your other side. And then those that have 2 feet held in the hands, keep your chest as it is, pull your tailbone down, release your feet, bring your legs to the floor, your hands to your chest, and come back into the position we were just in. Contract the upper middle back. Good. And now relax it all and rest. Rest your upper back, rest your arms, rest your legs. The people that are just doing one side, relax, release. Good. Okay. And then come up, do child's pose. So if that works for your knees, just reach your hips back in child's pose. and then come up into seated. So again, we're gonna sit flat if that's available to you. If it's not, then you're going to take a blanket under the hips. Go ahead and have your left leg bent in any comfortable position, the right leg out straight, and just make it, you know, comfortable for you. So the distance of the wide leg where it's reasonable, the position of the bent leg where your ankle is comfortable. But let's see if we can take the straight leg out like wide legs though. So just kind of, yeah, reach it over out to this side. Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay. All right, so then you're gonna reach your right hand down towards the straight leg and the other arm kind of up and over. Make sure you're breathing, the legs stay down, and then come on up. Sit up really tall and revolve towards the bent leg, but really lengthen up with your spine. Mm-hmm. And then come back over the straight leg and just do the first one we did. That's it, keep breathing. And then up and really sit up tall and just revolve towards the bent leg side. That's it. Good. Now keep your legs and sit in the middle. And we're going to revolve now to the straight leg side, just sitting up nice and tall. There you go. And breathe. Yeah, just like that. And just let your legs continue to go down and breathe. So it might feel like not a whole lot is happening. Just that's okay. I just want you to really think of the legs down and the spine up. And there is like a moderate twist, but don't go over the leg. Don't come into Janu Sirsasana. Just let yourself be here. Great. And then releasing, and we'll go to the second leg position. So when you're ready, stretching the left leg out to the side and bending the right, and just making sure that everything's comfortable where you've got your foot position. And the legs go down. It's fine to sit on a blanket to make this easier in the back. And then over the straight leg, and the other arm just comes over, breathe. And up. Sitting up nice and tall, and a gentle turn now to the bent leg side. You got it. And then back, that's right, back over the straight leg and breathing. And one more time, we'll come up and we'll gently turn to the bent leg side, sitting up nice and tall. Legs go down, breath is softly flowing. And then we're gonna come in the middle and we're gonna just revolve the other way. So the legs continue to go down and you're trying to sit up nice and tall. And just let it be enough, you know, just let this be enough where your legs are down and your spine is up and you're gently starting to revolve the ribs around, but you're not going to come over the legs. You're just going to be here and let yourself be here for a little bit. Good. And then in the middle, now just taking out the bent legs so you're in a comfortable wide legs. Not too extreme. Turn towards the right. Keep your left leg down. Now come forward a little bit over that leg. It's okay to allow for a curve here. I mean, don't dramatically curve, but just let yourself sort of be. And then come up and center and facing, turning first towards the second side, and then coming forward a little bit, just to let it be. Just let it be where it is. So it doesn't have to be absolutely straight spine, doesn't have to be a big, deep curve, just let it be. And then come on up and sit up really tall. So the idea when you're doing that is that the two legs stay very grounded and very even. So let's try it again, revolving right, two legs even to the earth, coming over right, two legs even to earth. And then rising up and center, two legs even. Twisting the other way, keeping the legs really stable, coming over the leg, keeping the legs really stable. And then rising up and legs stable. Good. Okay, Baddha Konasana if that's available to you. Any hand position, it could be hands holding feet, ankles, hands behind, anything that allows you the most comfort to sit up nice and tall. Feel your breath. That's right. And then assisting your legs with your hands, try to really relax your legs, lift with your arms and straighten out the knees. Now we're gonna open up the upper back a little bit. So when you're doing these, you always wanna make sure that you've created support so that your back doesn't spasm. So you need to either take your head high with blankets or you adjust the height of the roll so that your back doesn't spasm up in these. So what most of you will do is a blanket folded in half for the head and a little bit of a roll and of the other blanket. So we'll use two blankets if you've got them. So I've got a little bit of a roll. You can't see it very well today with the lighting, but I'm gonna lay on it, placing my lower shoulder blade. So if I can manage, I wanna get this roll to land at the bottom of my shoulder blade. And then the arms go out, the legs are bent, the head is on a folded blanket. And like I was saying, you're looking to allow for some softening in this thoracic area. So if you start spasming in this, then you need to just roll over and come up. Breathe and allow your back to rest into the blanket. Relax your jaw. So looking for the height of the head where your back muscles don't spasm. The height of the roll where your back doesn't spasm. So you always have to, adjust day to day, making sure you're working with what your body will allow today. Now you've been there for a little while. If your back is feeling like it's starting to relax, then you could stretch your arms over your head. And you could either have straight arms or bent arms holding the forearms, either one. And you can try different leg positions. You could flatten your legs on the floor. You could fold the legs and cross legs. Make sure you're breathing. If you're starting to get little twinges in your back, then you would be better off rolling over and coming out of it. And then let's all undo the arms, bend the knees, roll over. It might hurt a little bit when you're rolling over, but we're just gonna get out of it and then. So just sit evenly for a moment where you just kind of let the two sides of your back even out a little bit. Okay, and then it's optional to repeat this one, possibly rolling the blanket all the way up or replacing that rolled blanket with a bolster. So, you have three options. You could roll the blanket more, you could keep it the same, you could take a higher bolster, and you're just gonna do the same thing where you're not touching it with your back. Don't sit right next to it, but then always adjusting the head height so that your neck is comfortable, Making sure the middle back is not spasmy in this. If it is, you just want to come up, breathe. That's right, hips stay down. And so since we went over it once already, you could go right away to arms overhead if you like, into any optional leg position that suits you best. If your lower back is hurting, you know, then you want to put something underneath your hips. If your neck is hurting, you want something under your head. And you know, don't stay in it if it's hurting. And then lower the arms, then the legs, and roll over or sit up. You know, you can, if you're on the bolster, you can sit up if you prefer. Okay, so then let's just move this for a moment, and you're gonna lay flat in Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana. If you can, lay flat. If you can't do this, then of course you could take a blanket underneath your thighs. So, but just let the back lower to the ground. Legs in Baddha Konasana, arms any position, and just softening now. Allow your breath to start coming in a little bit deeper, just kind of a refreshing, inspiring inhale breath. So just let it come in a little fuller. And a little bit longer exhale, really letting go on the exhale breath. Do that a few times, just a long, refreshing, inspiring inhale and a long, releasing exhale. And then we're going to roll over and rise when you're ready. All right, so we're going to take bolster and 2 blankets. If you don't have a bolster, we can either do this with a pillow, or we can totally, you know, just modify. You'll see in a sec what we're going to do. So those that easily, without any struggle, Supta Virasana on this height, without any struggle, that would be next pose. So that's on the shins and reclining to the props. And then if that's difficult, then don't even start. If that's difficult, sit in cross legs on the floor, and even if you prefer, take a rolled blanket around your ankles and support the knees and then recline. So it's either simple cross legs reclining or Supta Virasana reclining, but make it the easy one. So no struggle on this. So it's either Virasana and reclining for those that just fall into that pose and love it. And then the rest of us are doing simple cross legs and laying back. So everyone's reclining with the chest open. It's just the leg position might vary. And everyone is at rest. So make sure you're in a comfortable position. Allowing the legs to rest, the chest to rest. Relax the jaw, feel the breath. Don't fight. If it's bothering you, then come up and undo your legs into a more comfortable position. If they're folded, change the cross. If you're in Supta Virasana, come up and straighten out your legs and lay back down with just your legs straight. Cross-legged people can stay. But the others that need to undo that bend, just undo your legs straight and lay back down. Relax, relax. Relax your belly, your back. Lay down. And then those that are crossed, just straighten out the legs. So everyone's laying down on the pillow with the legs out. Just really relax your legs. Relax your jaw. Feel your breath. Let go. Let yourself drape. So we're gonna come out of this and we're gonna lay kind of in a similar place, but we're gonna do the supported back bend over the bolster. So roll over, come up, and then you can probably just leave your bolster where it is. I gotta move my blankets just so you can see better. But then we're gonna sit on the bolster and lay back down this way. And then if you can, you're just gonna let your legs go back out. So you're basically coming into that supported laying down pose again, but now we've altered that the chest is down, shoulders are on the floor, and the hips are elevated. So when you're ready, just sit on your pillow, lay yourself down, take your shoulders to the floor. You could certainly leave your knees bent if you need to, because for some of us, the back can't tolerate just taking the legs out like that right away. But those that can, just let the legs drape open and rest. And it looks good. I can see you. You're in the right place. Your shoulders are down. Now just see if you can roll the tops of your shoulders towards the floor a little bit more, and let the back of your neck feel very long, back of your skull. Relax your jaw and see if you can come back into a draping feeling where you're just resting onto the floor, onto the pillow. Observe the breath. On the exhalation, see if you can let your belly fall towards the spine. Now those that prefer the legs in Baddha Konasana can bend the knees and step the feet onto the pillow and take the legs in Baddha Konasana. But if that makes you fight, then put them back out. If they don't just stay there and you rest, then you put them back out. So that the primary thing here would be to really relax. Allow the breath to slightly increase. So just a slightly deeper in-breath. And on the exhale breath, see if you can lower gently the abdomen, the belly, and just let the breath be slightly longer. So a slightly longer inhale breath and a slightly longer exhale breath, kind of emptying in the belly. After you've had a few breaths like that, just return to normal breathing, and we're going to put the feet on the floor, knees bent. Pick up your hips a little bit and shove the pillow towards your feet, lowering your back on the ground, and then just stay there with your back on the ground. And then if you have the bolster there between your feet, this is easier to do with the bolster than blankets, but you can kind of just spin it with your feet. So it now goes long ways, and just drape your legs over it. I mean, it now goes, across ways behind your thighs. And just let your legs rest. Back is on the floor, any arm position. And if it's comfortable for you now, fold your legs and cross legs on the bolster. If that's not comfortable, then just put the legs back out. So make sure you're really resting the legs. Changing the cross, if they're crossed. And those that want to do lotus or half lotus in this can go to the first side, either half lotus or full lotus. And if you don't want to do that, you can just drape your legs over the bolster. And if you've done the fold of your legs, try the other side. And if you don't want to do this, you could just lay your legs out on the bolster. And then just lay your legs out, let them rest. Okay, so then bend your knees in, roll over, and sit up. So I want to do just a really simple seated pranayama with you before we do shavasana. So you're going to sit on a comfortable, actually, if you have a bolster, sit on it. So I do want you to sit up a little bit. And so if you have a bolster, just go ahead and take it. And if you don't, then sit up on a blanket. And sit in cross legs or virasana. So your most comfortable seated position, and let your hands rest on your thighs and sit up nice and So you guys just sit like that for a moment. Try to really continue sitting up. I'm going to turn to the side just for a sec so you can see the head position. So we did this in the very beginning of class, where we were seated and we did our little Om, we put our hands down, and then we had the head down. So just watch for a sec. So when I'm sitting like this, I'm really trying to lift my ribs, front, side, and back ribs up, as if someone just put their hands there and helped me lift up. And then although the head is down, the top shoulder has to really push back, so you don't allow for any coming forward with the top shoulder. So the whole time you're there, the head is seeking a lowered position as the shoulders are rolling back. Okay, so now I'm going to turn back so I can see you guys. So first is to really sit up. So as if someone put their hands on your rib cage and just lifted straight up. So that includes your back ribs, and you breathe. Top shoulder, take it back, and then let's go ahead and close eyes and lower head down. So your hands could be in this palms down position, and just let the head come down into its most comfortable lowered position. Top shoulder has to go back still. Top shoulders back. And continue to lift the rib cage up. Front, side, and back ribs have to lift up. Head is down. Back of the neck stretching. And you breathe. So let's have eyes closed. The gaze is inward to the chest. And feel the entire inhale and feel the entire exhale. Relax your throat. And then we're just going to increase slightly both the inhale and the exhale. So on the increased inhale, open the chest more, allow more inhale breath to fill the entire chest. And on the exhalation, gently pull the abdomen back, emptying the abdomen. And then when you're ready, you begin again. So you're just slightly increasing both in-breath and out-breath. Head is down. Shoulders are back. On the exhalation breath, really empty the belly. We'll do one more. Deep, full inhale. Filling chest. Long, steady exhale, emptying belly. Head is down, relax the eyes and throat. At the end of that exhale, go to normal breathing. And then raise the head with the eyes closed. Allow the head to float on the top of the spine. Just feel how you feel. Across the eyes, across the brain, across your consciousness. You could even leave your eyes closed, and you're going to lay all the way down in Shavasana and just make it comfortable. Just lay down. You know, if you need something, of course you can look, but if you want, you could just leave your eyes closed and lay down. Don't worry about it too much. Just lay down and rest. Relax the back body to the ground. Relax the front body to the back body. And don't worry too much. Just let it go. Just let yourself be. Softening to the earth. Letting go the face, the body, the limbs. Natural breath comes in, you feel it. Natural breath goes out, you feel it. Soft eyes, soft ears. As you're at home, if you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. Those that are ready, get out of Shavasana, take your time. As a number of people might be staying, we'll just leave the mics muted for now. Namaste.